Can come up.
Hey, so we can, since you're on already, can you just let us know if you can hear us pretty good or hear us at all? I don't know. Let me see if I can go on. If not, we're in trouble.
Lay down, dude.
It's hot in here.
I know. I need the ceiling fan. I've got a ceiling fan.
Hello. There, I can. There, I can. Okay, I turn my volume down.
Feedback.
Yeah. Hey guys, there's Endless RVing. How are you guys? We need all the luck we can get.
Good evening. We still got some time to go.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm not the public speaker. He is.
Yeah. Thank you, Endless RVing.
Yeah. So do you have any pointers for us? So this is what I'll chat from here.
Okay, that's smart.
There is a delay when I was on.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that. Took a few minutes.
Yeah, that's what Scott said. That fan does feel better.
Yeah, I jokingly said if I had a fan in here, and I forgot I've got a fan.
And look into the camera. Thank you.
Oh, you're one of those.
When
we do that all the time with the recording.
When we first started videoing, we would play it back and we were always looking at the screen because we have an M50 and it would pop out. And so we realized that we were looking at the lens.
That's a very good point.
So we will look at the lens.
That's true. Actually, I want to look at her.
Because you want to look at yourself. Do you see what he said?
No, yeah. I want to look at her. And that's what I'm trying to do. So.
And talk a lot. Somebody said talk a lot. Yes. I don't think there's going to be a problem with that.
Can you believe she said that?
You have to know what he does for a living. He talks. I'm the more, well, I talk a lot at work, but.
Well, the other thing is I just got back from walking our lab.
It's
you
hot.
Probably will hear.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's rainy. And so I am burning up right now.
And he doesn't want to take his hat off because it's that.
We're not going to go there. What's not known on your side of the camera is just fine.
I cut his hair. It doesn't look that bad.
Well, that's not the problem. I was on Zoom calls today, and
did you wear your hat?
I wore hats in my Zoom calls.
Yep. What time is it? Oh, so who else is here? I saw somebody come on.
You got Endless RVing, Full-Time Dream.
Okay, I thought somebody else came on, but not.
They may have left already.
No, that may not have been. It's early.
Full-Time Dream. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you're here. As you probably can tell, we're novices.
So, where do you guys live? What part of the country? We won't be able to do this with everybody, but since you're on, what part of the country do you guys live in? Because we're in Columbus, Ohio. Who is that?
Bailey. I'm going to have to pull the footstool over to get her someplace to lay.
Somebody.
Yep.
Oh, okay. New Jersey and Western New York. Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
I think full-time Dream. Didn't I just watch one of your videos today? And I wanted to come to Western New York. I think it was you guys. We would like to do that. Go up the East Coast. Our son is planning on moving to New York City. It was in Queens, but he was supposed to go May, and now obviously he's delayed. He's going to actually start a church in Queens. So they're going to go in, I think, January. I'm not sure. I don't know how that's going to turn out. We have 2 dachshunds in a lab. They've all been sick. And now, oh, that's right. Could be you challenged us. That could be it. I get it right mixed up. I asked Full-Time Dream, didn't I just watch one of your videos? How do I know you? And we had challenged him. That's right. That was last week.
You have to understand, we've been on confinement, and so our memories aren't working quite like they should.
Hey, there's Happy Place Diaries. That's Jerry. I just watched your cast iron video. It was good.
We love our cast iron skillet.
Well, we have 3 of them.
Yes. Had great potatoes, onions.
Yeah, in fact, I used it tonight. Made potatoes and onions and peppers, and
it was really good. I don't think there's any left.
No, not of those.
Nope.
I think you ate them all.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job.
Are y'all getting rain? If you're not in the east, you're going to get rain.
We're getting rain tonight.
Yeah, but at least it's better than it was in the west. They got plastered, but I think Oklahoma didn't have any tornadoes where we used to live. That's where we came from. We're not from there, but we came from
So
there.
in the Northeast, when do they say you'll be able to start camping? Yes, and the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that on the Facebook post.
No, that's Jerry.
Yeah.
See, Jerry, I like your latest Facebook post.
You sent that to him?
No.
He sent that to us.
No. He sent it where I'm teaching him how to read this. Endless RV sent it to Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
They talk to each other. I get on more live streams than he does. We will teach him.
I just do Zoom calls.
Yes, he does. So he doesn't like to get on the computer as much as I do. Now that I'm not working. But I sort of am. Just not at that hospital job.
I was asking before when it looks like you'll be able to start. Let's see. They just opened state parks in New Jersey.
May 2nd?
May 2nd. No word about campgrounds and etc. I think that's pretty much what it is here, that the state parks are going to be available for those that are able to be self-contained.
Hi, William.
Hey, William.
Did you go by Bill or William? And from Chesapeake. I'm from Roanoke, Virginia. That's where I was born, raised, until I got
captured and taken away.
All over the country.
I had to go find a Virginia Belle. State.
My blue glasses show up pretty good. I have to wear these readers because I can't see.
Private parks. Yeah, we've talked to a private park about spending a couple nights there, just kind of get back in the swing of everything.
Our state parks open up the 17th of May. We think we have reservations over Memorial Weekend. We'll see if it holds. If they choose not to, they cancel everybody. So we'll see.
Yep.
Let's see. Washington, and Jerry said Washington State Parks are on the 14th.
Yeah, I just read that.
No. Oh yeah. That's it. Well, I didn't see it.
I know.
You guys are early birds.
Yeah.
We appreciate it because it
Very
allows
much.
us to figure this out. I don't know if you saw my post on Keep Your Daydream, and I'm so glad I did post because we wouldn't be having this live feed right now.
Oh, at 7:00, we're going to look so professional. It's not even funny. You're helping us get all the bugs worked out. The state park's not till June.
Who was that? Full time. That's New York. Yeah.
Wow.
That doesn't surprise me. Virginia's that way too. That governor's not opening them up for a long time, July maybe.
Yeah. So we're anxious to travel up to the Northeast once we get to the other side of this.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there. If you hear our dogs in the background, we apologize.
Don't be surprised. And I'll just tell you before we get started, our dachshund has problems with his trachea.
No, the lab does.
What I said, dachshund.
Mm-hmm.
The lab has problems with his trachea, and he lets out with these really guttural,
That's scary.
sounds.
I'll try to mute it if we hear it.
Yeah.
We'll mute real quick if he.
And if we don't, you have to overlook it. Yeah, open the barbershop.
Your wife can cut it, Jerry.
And you can wear ball caps until it grows back out.
I think he does.
There may be a reason.
I don't know. Sorry, Jerry, you guys can't come to the memorial. You'll have to come. I think we met your general. Did you tell him that? I think
we met the general.
That's over it. And I think we met him. Nice guy when we
came
went
right up to us, introduced
Yeah.
himself, spent a couple of minutes with us, had another entourage he was showing around. But
yeah,
the facility is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Veterans Memorial here in Columbus, Ohio. And if you're ever passing through this way, it's definitely worth it, but it's going to take you a good portion of at least a day to get an overview, a couple of days if you want to stop and pause and read and consider each of the areas. Phenomenal.
Oh, look at that. Full-time dream. If you're talking, I'm looking at my cell phone too, about a boondocking spot.
Oh, just south of Buffalo.
We may do that.
Yes. Years ago, I was in Chippewa.
Oh, look.
We're on the big screen.
I know. We sent this to our kids in Florida. I don't know if you can see this.
They put us up on the big screen.
They're on the big screen there in Florida. We are. The ones that are going to move to New York. Hi, kids.
But we just, we were up in Cheektowaga. I was up in Cheektowaga, New York years ago. Had a good experience up there for about a week and got over to Buffalo and Niagara Falls.
Was that after we were married?
That's before we were married. Then we went up there and camped.
Long time ago.
We camped on the Canadian side.
Oh, we did. Yeah. That was fun.
Went up through Detroit and to Windsor and then drove up the Canadian side and did some camping. So
it's almost 7 o'clock.
1 minute to go.
They're waving to us. Wave to your children.
Grandchildren and children. That's funny.
Yeah. We've already talked about you, Jordan, and Melissa.
Yes. And of course, Annie and Judd. Hi, Annie and Judd. You got to say hi to the grandkids. Yeah. So.
Love you.
Yes.
Well, it's almost 7.
So. It looks like it's going to, it's an hour and a half to the falls in Amish country. Yes.
What is? Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at that.
We're getting all kinds of pictures.
Our family.
That's
Some
it.
of our we have 4 children, and that's one of them.
Hi, Mike and Candy. All right. Hopefully, we'll get you on here one day.
Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock, and we're going to go ahead and get started because my goal is that we're done by 10 o'clock. So that way, everybody.
He always says that. Don't worry.
But thanks for joining us. We're the best of us, the Floros, and this is our first time to do a live feed. And we are just excited about getting to know some more folks across the community of RVers, whatever kind of class you're in, A, B, C, travel trailer, fifth wheel, pop-up camper, tent camping. We're just learners. And so hopefully we can learn from you in all that we do. And thanks to you for helping to get us over the 200 mark.
That's pretty amazing.
We were just really excited about that. That was a highlight for us. And you helped to make that possible. So thank you for doing so.
Yeah. We were pretty excited about that because I retired from my job. I was labor and delivery nurse for many, many, many years. And I decided this was a good time since we're getting older to back out. Fortunately, the virus isn't too bad where I worked, but you just don't know. So we went ahead and decided it was time for me to retire. I probably will go back to work, maybe in the fall. But anyway, so we sat down and talked about it, and we thought, well, since I'm home, we can really put more time in our YouTube channel. So I think it's already has made a difference. So we thought that we would do this live stream and get some ideas. We can all help each other, because I think we're all at different levels. Obviously, we're probably the lowest one in subscribers, but we can still, you guys can help us. And then, just by, doing ideas, I think we can help each other.
I've been so amazed at the RV tribe in helpfulness and connection. And you go to a campground, you run into a problem, and they just step right in and help out. And it's a family.
It really is.
So, and getting to know some of you as we've connected,
I know,
has been so personal.
It is. I mean, we haven't met any of you guys so far in person. We were hoping to meet Jerry in May.
We're going to come this direction.
And so had a little issue called a virus come through, but
changed everything.
We were just amazed. Of course, people are just wonderful. Most people are just wonderful people anyway, and they're very helpful. I think you'll see them all over the country, but we've noticed that especially with RVing. So
yes, and we've camped for many years. But years ago, we had a pop-up camper. And when we took it out, I didn't think to check everything out before we left. And so our first night, it was a little chilly, and I couldn't figure out how to turn on a simple thing like the furnace.
Smoky Mountains, weren't we?
Smoky Mountains.
No, I don't remember which part.
Somewhere over that direction. And so early the next morning, I got up and I just walked through this large campground we were in till I found a camper just like ours, and they were having breakfast. And I went over and introduced myself. And they invited me for breakfast and said, no, I'm trying to get the furnace to start in our camper, and I'm having trouble figuring out how to ignite it. And he said, oh, no problem. He said, I'll come help you. And he got up from his breakfast, walked all the way across the campground, came in, helped me get it started, explained a couple other things on our unit to us, and said, have a great day, and left. And just we looked at each other just totally amazed. We've never gone to a motel and had the kind of experience where we knocked on the door next door and said, hey, can you help us? It just never did seem to happen in that setting. But our experience with camping, our first camper together, I don't know if some of you have ever heard of the Cox campers.
Probably not.
They fold out, and then your box is your center, and the two fold outs of your bed. And it was a small little thing that we went camping somewhere. I can't remember how many buckets and cups we had setting around in that little camper, catching the drops of water in a rainstorm. Seems like that was in Pigeon Forge. And we said, if we're going to do this much longer, we ought to look into something else. And we even had rescreened it and done a couple of things.
I was pretty impressed. I did all the cushions and everything.
Yeah. And so we went out and we bought a Jayco camper, used that for a couple of years. And
we do have a funny story about that. I have to tell this story.
Okay, you tell.
So Dwayne, then he was pastoring a small church in West Virginia up in the mountains. And we had put it out in the front yard. So we, at that time, were the only time we ever lived in a parsonage. A lot of churches have houses for pastors. And so it was the only time we ever did. And so we were driving back one day, and there was this huge sign on that camper, and it said
Tent Revival.
Tent Revival.
Well, what's amazing, we had just left the house like an hour before that to run down to Kmart just down the street and pick up a couple things, turned around and came right back home.
Yeah. And
in that short window of time, people were deviant.
So long story short, never trust people in churches. Anyway, but that was that camper.
So we got rid of that camper, got a Jayco, had that for a few years. One of our kids just was not big on camping. And so we ended up getting rid of it.
She's our nurse.
And so several years later, was heading down to where I went to college at for an alumni gathering. And we ran into a couple named Tom and Suzanne Raper and just kind of connected with them. And we rode them over to the campus for the meeting that night, and Tom wasn't in our car anytime. He's a salesman.
Right.
Tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Dwayne, do you have a camper? Every family needs a camper.
So
Kids love to
he
camp."
owned the largest RV dealership in the Midwest.
Yes.
This was 30 years ago.
Oh, long 40 maybe.
Yeah. Well, no,
long time.
about 35 years ago. He since has passed, and his wife still has an RV, but he didn't give us a camper.
But he told us to come over and he'd make a
it.
deal for us.
He did.
And we had that camper for several years, got rid of it, and then just waited. The kids grew up and left home, and we looked at each other and said, we really miss camping.
Mm-hmm.
And Dina was very clear that she did not want to do pop-up camping anymore.
I wonder why.
Yeah. And so we began looking at RV pool trailers, found one, did all the paperwork, went over to pick it up, and that weight sticker they put on the side of the campers to tell you how much the unit weighed when it pulled off the assembly line. Well, I had checked that before we left to make sure that our vehicle at the time could pull it. We went back to pick it up. We were doing the walk around, and I looked at the label, and it weighed 700 pounds more than it did, which then, with us and all the other weight, the tongue weight, put us over what we could pull. And I said, this isn't our trailer. So we had to make a quick decision. We jumped fast. If you're looking to get a unit, don't jump fast. There's always going to be another trailer. Yeah. And so we went ahead and jumped fast. We bought a trailer, put it behind our vehicle. And on our first trip out, we looked at each other and went,
this is not going to work.
This is not going to work.
No.
And so then we went to a local dealership here in the Columbus area, a small dealership, Ron Potts RV.
Well, you bought the truck then.
That's right. I did get his truck.
That's what made us
And once I got the truck, I said, well, now I can pull more trailer. And so we found the trailer, got the trailer, and then found out my truck didn't pull what I thought it would pull. So here's our experience lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4. Always know exactly what your truck will pull.
Yes.
Second, exactly how much your trailer weighs and all that you put on it. And don't forget your tongue weight. And don't forget your personal carrying weight. And once we added all that up, we realized that as much as we love that truck, we didn't have enough truck to do the kind of traveling we wanted to do. So then we got another truck. You're noticing a pattern here. But we hope that now we're ahead of the curve where we have a truck that will pull the trailer we have. And we love our trailer. If there's anything about our trailer, like many people, we'd shorten it about 4 or 5 feet. But if we shortened it that distance, we lose the space that we have inside. So that's important. But that's kind of been our journey. So we've just been weekend campers and have continued to get away every opportunity we can possibly do. We had a trip planned for a month ago originally.
Oh, at the state parks.
At state park, we're just going to get out.
2 cancellations, and I think most people have.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going in March and April.
Yeah.
Because our state parks, I don't know if yours, but ours book out really, really fast. So if you want a state park, you better start booking now because they're going to start opening up. But so 2 have been canceled. We've got 1 Memorial Weekend, and then there's an Ohio camp out coming up in June. So we're not real sure if we'll be able to do that because so far I think there's like 40 people going. So that might be canceled just because it's a huge group.
Right.
And then the only other one we have booked is in August to Maine because we found a campground to
Boston,
because we want to go to Boston,
Portland, Maine,
and he's got some business he's probably going to do there. So
but
we'll see. That's our plans, but at least
and
we have stuff.
You all probably have already figured this out. We do a first camp out real close to the house.
Yeah.
So we can run back real quick and get all the things we forgot and make up for anything that we realize we still need. And we just still like doing that pattern.
Yeah. So we're going to do that in the near future and clean it out, get it de-winterized and get ready for Memorial Weekend. And if we don't get to go to Memorial Weekend, it'll be ready.
That's it. So that's kind of our journey. We've been married for we've been married 5 years yet?
Yeah.
It seems like 5 years. We got married a few years back. So
40, maybe 40.
It cannot be that long. It just cannot be that long.
Anyway, Do you like that transition?
I saw that. That was smooth.
So one of the couple of things in relation to us being, we're a little bit over 200 now, I don't know, 208, 209, is one of our main objectives is, how to increase the subscribers. So hi, Travels with Delaney. I've been talking to them, but we never did officially welcome them.
We're glad you're here. Duke's glad you're here. He's getting ready to bark.
And see what he said? Do you buy the horse before the cart? And we have.
Absolutely.
We have
every time.
We made that mistake. Anyway, we were, and Duke's trying to talk to us. Duke's been sick. All three of our dogs, and now Duke is sick. Anyway, about increasing our subscriber rate. So we thought maybe those of you, all of you that are a little bit further along than we are and some way over is, what do you do to increase your subscriber rate? And I know Patrick, he was talking on one of his live, I forgot which one, maybe it was a week, I don't know which one, but it was a while back saying, Patrick, you have to remind me, but you were saying that your weight or you're getting less watch time. I think that's I can't remember how you put it, but it was way down, and we've noticed we're not getting as many views. Your view time was down, and it probably correlates, to the or maybe we're a little bit less, but correlates to our subscription or people that have subscribed, and you're many, you're like 16,000+ on there. So what I know what you are doing or some of you are doing, but that would help us to give us some pointers. And I remember we're insiders with Keep Your Daydream as well as part of Patrick's, his insiders. And I know Chad on Changing Lanes, if I'm sure maybe you guys have watched him, he said the number one thing was thumbnails and your titles. That was the most important thing. So, and I knew we were lacking in thumbnails. At least I was lacking. I was trying to do that. And I know Jerry has mentioned like Canva. He mentioned that back. But we had a subscription with Canva, but I don't really want to pay that right now because I don't have a job. And so I was making thumbnails off of YouTube itself, but you don't have very many fonts, and I really want to change that. So does anybody have any ideas of maybe what because I go through and look at everybody's thumbnails, watch your videos because it helps me learn of editing and it helps us learn on how to, put things together, for the videos. And plus I just enjoy watching your videos. So, yeah. And so, what is one thing how are you, you all have great thumbnails, and how are you doing your thumbnails? Is somebody doing it for you? Okay, there's one. Unless they use Fonto for thumbnails, it's easy okay. I've never heard of that. That's what I needed to know.
Epic RV Adventure is a tech live. See, Full-Time Dream said, Epic RV Adventure has a tech live yesterday
about
this very thing.
Oh, okay. That would be. I'll look that up.
And if you say free twice, that just doubles our savings. So thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And then who's the last one? Happy Place.
Yeah, that's Jerry. And I knew Jerry used Canva. I didn't know if you used if you get a subscription with it. So Patrick said, I'm telling my students that you can create a Ken Burns movie, but if no one clicks on it, it doesn't matter how good it is.
Good point.
Yes.
Good point.
And I think you have said that. You have said that yourself.
Yes.
During one of your live things, and I think it's really true. Yeah. So Jerry said use the free one. So I need to play with it some more, Jerry. Yes,
absolutely.
In fact, I used Canva for this thumbnail that we have for this live one.
And I do want to say this though, from when we started, which was.
Well, we started our channel. It was right before we went with Travels with Delaney to Virginia. We had, I can't remember if even Patrick knows, we had maybe 40 or 50 subscribers. I mean, we were brand new and we will never forget. And we want to tell you what Travels with Delaney did. We knew that they were going to do a meetup in Virginia. So I went, Virginia, since I'm from there. So we wanted to meet them for sure, but even better in Virginia. So we did go to that and we had a blast. So unfortunately, our space that they gave us was too short for our RV and our truck. So literally our truck and our RV were jackknifed pretty much like this on the site. And so we could not unhook.
You
at
got
all.
the trailer level, but
The trailer was level, but if we had unhooked, we would have never gotten it hooked back up again. I don't
and I
think.
need to explain a reason for that in a minute.
Well, I don't even know if you could have done it. Anyway, so we just decided to walk. I wanted to see the ponies, but we didn't know how far it was. And we were walking up and just, I was videoing the mountainside. It was just gorgeous because we went in October. Mm-hmm. That was the point. Patrick, chose that time of the year so we could see the changing of the leaves. I think I can come over here better. And so they stopped and said, "Hey, you want to ride?" Well, yeah, we'll ride with you and Fatty. And I got to play with the puppies.
Yeah,
sweet puppies. Dogs. They liked me. And so we saw the ponies and we did a lot of stuff and got to talk to a lot of the group was up there because we had a pretty good group. And then we hopped in his truck, or it wasn't a truck, but it was the other. Was it the truck? I don't remember if he had the truck yet. And that's right. Hopped in his truck, and he made the suggestion of recording us and introducing us. And after that, we hit 100 pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. So we will never forget that.
We appreciate that.
So very
helpful community.
Yeah, and it was.
Folks.
We had fun.
Fun.
It was very, very fun. That's very memories we'll have forever.
And what I wanted to also make sure to say, so we were really, really new at this.
Right. We had just started probably the month before that.
And
it was the second or third video I did.
And from that point forward, this lady has just done a phenomenal job of learning to get us to a point to where we are today. And I know we still have a long way to go.
Long ways.
But I just every week watch her learn something new and begin to apply it to what we're doing. And we wouldn't be anywhere near this if she.
To be honest,
just a minute. Let me finish.
Sorry.
That we would be nowhere near this point had you not given the time you've given. And so I'm very thankful for that.
Well, and
I
think we're starting to grow now because I know we had a discussion with on Patrick's, our how to start a YouTube channel, that he put up for the creators, which is phenomenal. And I knew Happy Place Diaries, Jerry's really getting at it. And I went, we can't do that because I just don't have the time. I work 12-hour shifts. This guy's busy, travels a lot, and I knew he couldn't do it. So I knew I just had to do what we could do. And now that I'm home, I think it's starting to make a difference. But I'm learning a lot too. So we're learning a lot from you guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So we just wanted to kind of celebrate with the community a little bit and see what's going on. And you were talking about our experience here in Virginia. Maybe you've seen our video on the Hensley Hitch. And when we first put it on, there is nothing I've ever pulled with before. And I haven't pulled all that much, but I've pulled enough. Mm-hmm. Nothing pulls the trailer like that Hensley Hitch. I mean, it's locked down behind us. When I first had it put on, when we first got it put on, a friend helped us put it on. I was going down the interstate with the trailer. And I thought, I feel a little bit of sway back there. I thought you wouldn't feel sway. And I looked down at my speedometer and I was going 78 miles an hour. And before
he doesn't drive that fast.
No, and before that, the trailer always determined my speed. And if you've pulled long enough, you know what I mean by that. So I get up about 60, 65, start feeling the trailer a little bit and just kind of stay in that comfortable zone. But I had no idea that I was going anywhere near that fast. So I can't just trust the trailer to keep my speed down. But the Hensley Hitch pulls incredibly well. But we went over to Elkhart, Indiana for the Forest River annual rally. And while we were there, they put us on a dirt spot and we disconnected from the trailer. And
not even thinking.
Didn't even think about it.
Not even
but
thinking.
Then, because the way all the other trailers were in, it kind of was an awkward angle to back under it the day we went.
And for some reason, you didn't put a board under there. Did you?
Yeah, I had a board under the jack.
Okay.
But so when I backed under it, I couldn't get hooked up right. And just the short of it, this is lesson number 4 I share with you tonight. I bent the jack. I mean, just flat bent the jack. Didn't
And
even realize
it was the very last day, and everybody was leaving. I
Yes.
mean, and we couldn't get it hooked up.
No.
We couldn't get it.
And so
That's the downfall of a Hensley.
So the challenge that I've learned is your setup prior to, I've gotten a couple other things, a little more experience now, but Forest River personnel came over. I think at one point they had 8 people, a backhoe, and I can't remember, and a guy that grunted a lot. And they literally
lifted it with a backhoe,
put it into the hitch for us. But the hitch had to come off. So we had to race on a Saturday afternoon almost to the Michigan state line to find a place where we could buy another trailer hitch so I could disconnect.
We got there 10 minutes before it closed.
And we were able to get that and put it on that night when we got to a campsite. But that was a lesson learned that there's always been a panic with that hookup. And so if you also have a Hensley Hitch, I'd love to talk with you about some things you've done to get that up to speed. Hey, I see the Fitches are here.
Hey,
good
guys.
evening, guys.
Hey.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. But as far as the hitch itself, oh my gracious, it can't be beat.
It is. It really is worth the money. Our friends, of course, purchased theirs, and they just said, you won't know when a truck passes you, an 18-wheeler, because you know how your RV goes, and I couldn't believe that they were right. I could not believe the difference of how that made. But another funny story, that hitch. So we had already gone to Elkhart, and then Keep Your Daydream came to town in Cincinnati. So we, of course, drove up to meet them. And so he was telling Mark that story, and it wasn't any time that he started telling him what happened when they were in the fifth wheel and he got stuck, and he went, I know exactly what, and he just goes off because he had of course, had a Hensley on his Grand Design.
Yes.
And so that was just interesting. It was very scary.
Oh yeah.
Very scary.
But we've learned a lot about the hitch, that's for sure. So
Patrick just asked, did we look into the video creators course? Yes. And so I'm really working through that, because when I was still working when we signed up for it, and now that I'm not, I'm just working through it. And so what I've done is I went back, if you look, I don't know if you've taken the time, but I've changed all our thumbnails to make them a little bit better than what they were. And I changed a lot of the titles. I did notice that we were starting to get more views with that. So I think that's a beginning. I think I have a long ways to go through the thumbnails. I'm just really struggling because some of, I guess like some of the larger channels I've noticed are really not, their thumbnails aren't what some of them are, but at this point their channels are so large. I guess it just probably carries itself. But obviously at our stage, we need to, I know we need to pick that part up.
Yeah.
So,
there's so many lessons to learn.
So, yeah.
And that night we got to the campground outside of Lima, Ohio. I got the hitch the new trailer jack put on. We didn't disconnect because we were pulling out the next morning. Yeah. And this storm blew in from who knows where.
Like a tornadic storm.
Just rocking the trailer and the truck. And we had our lab with us. And he normally doesn't jump up on the bed because it's too high and he's got a few years on him. But in one motion, he literally came up and was buried across the top of my neck when the crack of thunder hit right on top of us.
We didn't have to go to the bathhouse, but we were thinking about it.
Yeah, we were getting a lot of stuff was torn up the next day. People had their portable tents and stuff.
And that's another lesson learned. Always close your awning. We always do. And there were a couple of them. Their awnings were torn off. Yeah. Like we always close our awning at night because I mean, anyway. One of those lessons.
One time, this is another story. We went camping in dome tents in Canada on that trip, and we set up the
kids,
dome.
We have 4 kids, so
two
the
girls, 2 boys.
The girls with me and the boys with him.
And so, but we set them kind of facing each other. Well, in the middle of the night, this horrific storm blows in. So we got everybody up and we sat in the van thinking that was the safer place, and everybody went to sleep. Yeah. All I could think of was, man, look at those tents. They are not going anywhere. I really put those up well. They survived the night.
You're not going to hear this, but I wonder if Jordan, he's watching, if he remembers that trip.
Oh, that was
He was young. That was a long time. Anyway, so the thumbnails and what was the other?
It's on there.
Yeah. So subscriber retention. So we were wondering, there's Elijah. Hi, Elijah.
Hey, I saw the picture, Elijah. That was good.
That's our son-in-law. So keeping subscribers, it's good to get subscribers, and it's great that all of our friends in the YouTube world are subscribing, but the goal is to get outside people, and we're starting to get some outsiders that are not just there's just short trying to not get out. Our kids keep texting us to get outsiders. And so what are some suggestions that you guys have that you are doing for retention? And it may be as simple as just keep putting out quality videos and things. And that was a couple of the things we were going to talk about, what type of videos that we are seeing that people really like, that we're getting the most views. When we look back at our views, at our videos, there were some that we don't have very many views, and there's some are more than others. And so there was a couple of things that I picked up. Number one, they really like Dwayne on camera more than they like me, which is okay with me.
I can't help it that I'm eye candy. What can I say?
Some of those videos, like, we've got to put something out. I feel like, what can we do? And like, I didn't get that many views, but so I'm transitioning here from, retaining those subscribers. But I think if you can think, if we're the same that we're thinking, is they like how-to type videos. That's what always drives us to YouTube. I mean, everything I search.
I agree with Endless RV. Just keep making good videos. Consistency is important. And then the Fitch has said, when we started our channel, we intentionally didn't promote our channel on our personal Facebook. That way the subscribers we got to know were all people we knew.
Right.
Did I read that right? Subscribers we knew were all people we knew. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And our son-in-law, who's Elijah, if you see that, he is a photographer himself. He has another job, but I call him a professional photographer. So he is helping me on that end. But, it's nice to have him, because he'll say, why don't you do this or do that? And he knows I won't yell at him.
And then Patrick said, he tells his students in the beginning, put out as much content as you can. Quality of content will come with practice. And all you got to do is watch some of our videos, and you begin to see that we're now stuff.
Well, that's true. But in fairness to us, I know the insider live streams that Mark did, somebody told him, they said you need to go back and because it's almost like they're starting all over again with their Airstream. You need to go back and watch some of your earlier videos. And he said, I can't do it. They're just so bad. I just cringe every time. And I know a little bit what he's talking about when I look back at those first ones that I had no clue. And I'm doing better, but still there's a lot of stuff I don't know. So you guys keep putting out these nice videos, because I'm watching you. I'm watching because I want to see it, but I'm watching. Look like Robert's in our first
videos. Yes.
I don't know, Patrick. I think we started watching you guys from really close to the beginning, and I can't remember when we started. I don't even know how I found you. I really don't. I found you.
We just,
I don't know.
We turned off regular television and just started going to YouTube and would look up people that were doing RVs, and just felt like we connected with them and personality wise. And
Keep Your Daydream was the one when they put out that video about the weight distribution, and he did it pretty early on. And that's when we traded the other truck and got the truck we have now, because we had gone to Myrtle Beach. We have the RV that we have now, and went to Myrtle Beach, and from Ohio to South Carolina, you're going through North Carolina. If you've ever gone that way, there's some pretty large mountains. I'm not saying they're the big ones like they are out west, but they are pretty steep. and we were coming back. We overheated, weren't we? I didn't know if we were going to make it up. And it was a nice truck. It was
love that truck.
Yeah. That was one of his favorite trucks. So that's when you went and took and weighed the RV, and you weighed the truck, and we realized we were overweight. And so he traded the truck to the truck he has now.
And as much for what we were trying to pull, and I've heard some different ones say this, trying to stop. You have to stop every pound that you're pulling and every pound that you're setting in. And that really became a concern, that it would be so easy for it to get out of control. And we did not want to be the reason of causing some major catastrophe for folks. And so wanted to pull it back in.
So those are our major topics. We don't want to
and the other
linger
thing
too long.
Yeah, that I was hoping we'd be able to talk about it for a few minutes, or just some of the projects that we've worked on. And as we've thought about what has been helpful for us watching videos, when you go to places we've never been, we learn so much about Alaska and have never traveled there with an RV, but we feel like we did because so many folks went there the last couple of years.
Last year, a lot of people did. We watched them all.
And so we've always enjoyed looking at where people have been and saying we need to go there. But I think one of the things for us, and I'd look to see if you agree with this, are some of the simple projects that have helped us to consider what kind of battery setup we want, what kind of lift systems, what kind of support structures, everything down to the slinky on what some things that we might think about there. So those kind of projects seem to be one that, as I've looked at the numbers, seems to be very inviting. Our Hensley Hitch we were talking about before, if I remember right, we've had more views of the Hensley Hitch than anything else.
That's our biggest.
That's our number one.
And it wasn't that, it was not great, but he does have an addendum. You'll see the second part to that.
Yes,
he got
we're going to do
new,
that one yet.
In fact, from maybe this weekend, we're going to work on that. That we'll
put that together.
Kind of put those two together, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better video, but it has gotten a lot of views. So that tells us that what people are looking for, something, value that they're looking at there, for their RV. So anyway,
Epic RV Adventure. Thank you. Thank you for the good wishes. It's good to have you on here tonight.
Yeah, thanks. And welcome to where'd they go? Moon Dance RV Gone to the Dogs.
I missed
RVing Gone to the Dogs. Yeah, they just
thanks.
Appreciate
for that.
Yeah,
and Patrick, I agree with what you put up there, that product reviews. Now we have done.
They do.
Yeah, those have been very good. And we're still trying to explore. We did one on our inside truck camera system for the front and back. That was a product review.
Well, and it has not picked up a lot of views. I'm just waiting. So maybe it'll, as people start traveling.
Yeah, I was thinking we put that out when folks were still kind of in isolation. And maybe as they begin looking for that kind of a system, that'll help.
Yeah, I told Patrick online to quit putting out those part reviews because we keep buying his stuff that he's putting on there. And now he put those blasted bikes on there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
No, we probably won't be getting those. Dina didn't have a job. So. But it doesn't. We talked about the other night, we were walking. Boy, if we had those electric bikes, this would have been a fun walk.
They do make a difference, especially.
So yeah, you're right. Product reviews do really well.
Yes.
I mean, it grabs us. So anyway,
let's see.
So you might want to see
which one.
I think it's caught up pretty well.
Yeah,
I'm looking at on my phone.
We're trying to stay up with you all. You're giving some good comments.
I'm being Patty here when she looks on the comments and all. So is there anything else?
We talked about thumbnails. We talked about subscribers. We talked about some of our I don't know if you've had a chance to watch any of our handy dandy RV candy videos yet. I just love that title. Whoever came up with that was just brilliant.
Do you want me to patch on back?
Thank you very much. But also, I know sometimes there's get-togethers. If there's some get-togethers that are occurring over weekends, we just like the fact of being able to meet and put a face with people that we've either watched or connected with on YouTube.
Yeah, we try to grab those,
So we
and
try to get to those.
I
as
know
well.
following them finches, they're the ones that have put the Ohio group. So we're all praying that we can
Do it.
be allowed to go.
Yes.
We'll have
We're
to
ready.
wait and watch.
We're ready.
And right now the campgrounds need us. They really do need us. They're hurting to keep their campgrounds open since they're
Because we do
coming
have
in
some.
camping.
We have some private campgrounds in Ohio that are open right
Yeah.
now. They have some full timers,
but they don't have many. There's not many people camping there right now.
That's my point. They could take campers,
right. Yeah,
even
if you're
during
full
this
time. Yeah,
right. So
anyway, I think that's everything.
I think that's our list.
So
that
we
we
thank
just
you.
knew was going to cover 3 hours.
You guys are right. Thank you so much for joining us. You let us practice on you. I don't know how often we'll do this. We'll wait until we really start picking up and growing, do it again. But because we said it wasn't even 2 weeks ago, we're not going to do a live video. And then we went, well, maybe we can do one.
We'll do one. We'll do one and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But if you have some suggestions to help us with this particular format, if you also have some insights on some of the topics we talked about, please send those to us.
Right.
We really do welcome those and learn from each other. And if you're going to be somewhere in the area, holler
In
at
Columbus,
us.
yeah. We have some great campgrounds. You can come to our house.
And I noticed somebody put on here that they're able to pull their camper in their driveway and do some overnight camping. Our neighborhood is restricted, and we have some really tough officers. And since I'm the president of the neighborhood association, it's probably good. I'm not one that violates that, but our driveway's kind of short here. But
we did have some friends that had a Class C. They just stayed overnight. They were passing through, and we put them in the driveway.
Yeah, we did.
That's right. In our driveway. We hooked them up to our water and
24-hour
electricity. Yeah. So it's just that our driveway is so short. So we couldn't get our RV back to where we live on a cul-de-sac, and then we're way back in the woods. It would not fit. So
nobody could get around us. But we really.
Or reading
Epic RV Adventure. Oh, you're talking to Full-Time Dream? Yeah. So we're just glad we could connect. If you're going to be in the area, holler at us and let us know. We'd love to at least come out and have a cup of coffee or a soft drink, or just sit around the fire and chat with you a little bit.
And following pictures. Yeah, we knew that you were in Mearsville, you guys.
I did not know that.
We live in Gahanna. Epic RV Adventures. That's where we are. They used to live in Dayton.
Oh yeah.
But we're in Gahanna. So we're not too far from the airport.
Right.
And I worked down one of the hospitals downtown. So it took me 10 minutes to get to work. It was quite lovely.
So,
but yeah.
And I live so close to my office here lately. I've just been walking to work.
I think he's going to stay home.
I think I'm just going to keep this office and just walk to work for a while.
I may kick him out after a while.
If I suddenly don't show up, please come looking for me.
Because he gets on those Zoom calls when I have to go upstairs because I get too loud.
Noisy. Yeah, too noisy.
Oh, you do work in Dublin. We used to live in Dublin. Yeah. We lived.
Our two youngest graduated from Dublin.
We were real close to Murfield Village. In fact, our two youngest kids went to Dublin Jerome. They opened the school. Yeah. And they're watching. Well, but they're both watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love Dublin. But we moved to Gahanna because it was a little bit cheaper. So. And I was working this way. But anyway.
Thanks for joining us tonight and just making this a good run. A lot of fun for us. Hope it's been fun for you.
It was fun.
And just from the best of us, the Floros, to the best of you and all that you do and we get to continue to do. And we can't wait till we can get out there and experience the RV life again on a regular basis. And who knows, maybe even before the year's over, we might get to hug a couple necks. We'll see how that goes. But thanks so much for being with us and all your input and just for being here. But good night. Thanks.
Night.
Again. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Great live stream. Thank you, Night. And that was you. Great first live stream from Elijah. Michigan in June. Yeah. Darn, great first live stream. We'll see you at Mohican in June.
Yep.
Have a good one. Great.
Okay.
Some excellent comments.
Hold on.
Fun.
and broadcast. Thank
Well, you
you.
didn't do that. Thank
Nope.
you.